Hello and welcome to Tabletop Oddity, you crazy people. My name is Jay, and today I'm going to be looking at an article that Games Workshop have published on the community site called Kill Team Tournaments, Campaigns and More Near You. And obviously, from my personal point of view, I'm very interested in the tournament element, and we'll get there's something that's in it that I think is very important relating to some videos that I've made, and that is mainly the unique tactics that you are available in Kill Team. So basically, if you buy an Orc Kill Team box, you get tactics in there that are not available in the core manual. And there is something in one of the packs here. Now, it's not like that this applies to every tournament ever, but at least for the Nova one at the end of this month, you are actually only able to use those tactics that are in the book. You can't use the other ones. Now, if they're going to keep that up and that's how it's going to work, then I am going to be very happy, but I can imagine that might annoy a lot of people. But we'll go through the whole thing. Patch is barking in the background, I do apologise. We'll go through the whole thing. Let me just get this up on the screen. This is the article, because there's quite a lot of interesting stuff here, just in general. Talks about the Nova Open. No idea where that is. All I know is that it's in America. They say the tickets might be nearly sold out. But on the event pack, there are some very interesting things which I hope may be a sign of things to come, basically. So let's have a look. Kill Team Nova 2018. I'm using Firefox, and for some reason it never loads very well. Plane of Battle sounds deadly, but because you can't have elevated troops. But the one thing that we have confirmation of, which we thought was the case, but I wasn't 100% sure that it would work like this, is when you make your roster, you make a roster of between 3 and 20, and then you pick the best 100 points you can against your opponent. So presumably you're going to know what race he is, if he's Orcs, and then you're going to be well, I'm going to pick my best stuff against Orcs. And you could have 20 Space Marines, for example, kitted out differently, but it's well, I'm going to take these 5 Space Marines against Orcs because that's what I've set up for. So that adds a lot of unique tactical element to the game before the game, and I do like that, and I hope that basically continues. I think in the short term a lot of people will just build one list and be done, but what I might end up doing, especially with somebody like Space Marines, is make several teams just so that or maybe this one's good against shooting, or you know what I mean. We're not going to go through all of these as secondary objectives. Hopefully that's something that this was produced by the official GW team, so hopefully this will be in most tournaments, and then it goes through several different missions, and it's interesting that they have new missions for the competitive play. It's not like the ones that are in the book, although some of them are quite similar. These are literally new and created, and there's more than, I think there's only 2 in the book or something, but there's quite a lot here. If you're playing just casually, you might even want to pick these up just to because there's something different, but my main point is getting to this tactic bit here, just because I find it so intriguing. Players can use any of the tactics available to the Kill Team from the Kill Team core manual. So it says anything from any other publication can't be used. I hope that this is a rule that maintains forever. I just really like that as an idea. Or maybe if we get a General's Handbook or something, maybe they go the core manual or the General's Handbook. That would be fantastic. It does say your miniatures have to be pretty much closely represented, including all war gear. So you're going to have to, what you see is what you get kind of thing. And you're going to have to do that. Another interesting thing is talking about how it ranks. The actual tournament itself, the victory points that you score, the amount matters. So for example, when you do Legion, they normally just say whoever wins or loses. In this case, it's if I get 5 victory points but my opponent gets 0, then I'm higher up in the list kind of thing. So that's also interesting. There is some unique, small, interesting points in here. I quite like the fact that spectators can't say anything to help the people watching, but they can notify a judge if somebody's cheating, which I sort of find amusing. It sort of reminds me of that golf rule where people can ring up to a golf tournament and be that guy just cheated, and they're damn, what? Yeah, fairly fine rules here. There's nothing amazing like stand out apart from that tactics. I mean, it does say players should strive to bring a sufficient kill team tokens. So if you've not got the core set and you've not bought your specific kill team, can you actually play? That's I mean, maybe you'd have to make your own tokens or something. I'm not a huge fan of that rule because that's basically saying you have to have bought one of our. Then they're not just selling the tokens on their own. So at the minute you have to have bought one of our products that includes the tokens, which I'm strongly against. Most of the tournaments it's just run on the whatever this board is, Sector Imperialis, something like that. But that's the tournament side of things. I hope that is a sign of things to come, as in I hope that remains consistent for the foreseeable future. There is actually a weekender at Warhammer World, which I'm going to try and go. The dates and stuff like that, I believe, are being announced this Monday, which will be, let me just check the date. That will be the 6th of August, will be when it's properly announced. They're having a whole shebang, but I'm hopefully interested in the tournament. Kill team at your store. So your store can basically buy, I presume, this box, which is going to have posters and stuff like that for your stores to give away and that kind of stuff. I say give away, but you have to play in them, which is all well and good. It's just nice to see Games Workshop support this. Obviously, they've done this with Shadespire, but it's nice to see that they're doing it with this game, and they're not half-assing it kind of thing. They're going in full on. You can get stuff just for taking part. You can get extra dice, or they call it loot. But there's stuff that you can get. You can get acrylic tokens. Interesting, very feels X-Wingy, feels quite X-Wingy, that, doesn't it? But it's available. Special reward tokens if you come first, second, or third. Although I cannot see the difference between gold and bronze there. I'm just possibly blind. I presume bronze is the one at the back, but there we go. And there's unique, presumably these tactics aren't unique tactics in the sense of not available anywhere, although they are suitable for a campaign. So not 100% sure where they come from. I'm not really interested in the campaign kind of thing, but I can understand some people will be, they'll want to go every week or whatever, you get rewarded, that kind of thing. I'm definitely interested in the tournament kind of thing. Not that I expect to be good. I would like to clarify, I never expect to be fantastic at this game or any game. So just do keep that in mind. But I thought it was worth talking about mainly because of those tactics. It's something that I've harped on about a few times. And I tried to read the core manual and be well, that is not the right one. And tried to read the core manual, and I was oh, there's nothing here that says you can only use the ones in the core manual. And then the first tournament pack that GW put out, they actually say it. I find it a bit weird that I sort of feel like they wanted to use it as a sales point, but then they're well aware that it might destabilize the game, so they've toned it back a little bit with the rules pack. I guess it allows them in the future to make an event where it's just yo, you've had the time to buy anything you want, now you should buy our products, buy them, and now you can use them. But I just hope that it stays like that. I feel like that it's healthier for the game to only be able to use stuff from the core book. For a few different reasons, I mentioned it before, and it's interesting how they've got new missions, basically how the mission structure, how the tournament themselves are going to work, as in how many, it's pointed. There was something that it mentioned in that PDF. They said that you basically have 3 rounds to determine the top 16, and then the top 16 come back and play those on their own kind of thing. So you basically can get knocked out, which is fine, I guess. It's more than fine. And you also don't want to be waiting too long. It's a little bit like X-Wing when some people might not make it to day 2 just because you've not won enough games, you've got no chance of winning. That's fine. Presumably if a store's going to do that, they could always have a day 2 tournament, individual tournament. That's what generally happens, just where you can go and play basically, but you're not playing for the top prize, you're playing for the second tournament result. But yeah, I mean, I was at a wedding yesterday, but I sort of quickly read this last night, and I was I'll read that properly tomorrow. It doesn't seem anything interesting. Then I saw that tactic thing, and I'm boom. That's an axe I've been grinding for years, for weeks now, and I was I need to come on and get my story straight. I don't want anybody to be he lied to us, he was wrong. and I hate him. I mean, you can say the last bit. I don't mind that, but at least I'm being as honest with you as I can. Patreon. I'm gonna plug it more. I keep not plugging it, so I'm plugging it more. I do thank all my current Patreons and anybody who's even thinking about doing it. It really does help. If you want to like this video, like it. That's fine. If you shared it previously to anybody being like, look at these tactics, I hate this, and you can share them and tell them it might not be as bad as we thought. Yeah, and if it's not as bad as we thought, I'm not going to apologise, because at the time we had no information about that. This wasn't released. And it's still obviously a possibility that those unique tactics will be playable at some point. But, you know, I could only go with the information I had at the time. Hopefully you understand that. And subscribe. Yes, subscribe. Or else don't, which is fine. But you definitely 100% should have a beautiful day. And goodbye.